Keep watching Parliament Television, a station that brings Parliament closer to you.
This is greatness on high rotation. This is the DSTV Nation.
Take it away.
We start with the moment, and we own it. We devote it. We black and we proud. BET, and it's loud. The music, the magic, just fanatic. It's Illmatic. Then we amaze and we blaze with the craziest craze and the craziest kids that cook and create in the craziest vids, learning stuff that we wish that we did. Then beware, we're in for a scare. It's a ghostly affair. You'll laugh and you'll scream, split at the seams. This is greatness made for your screen. Now, hold up, stop the track. Launch an attack with the quack. We gonna fight and ignite, show some might and a light. This is the best thing on TV tonight. Now, we're all flying with wings, cause we got the same heat that DSTV brings.
No way.
With so many fantastic shows on so many amazing channels,
They are bringing the heat.
GoTV couldn't get any better, right?
Right.
Wrong. Cause we're bringing a whole bunch of brand new channels
This is a whole new level.
just for you. Like Movie Room,
Afuni Entertainment.
Mnet Essentials,
Sounds like a scoop.
I love it.
Nicktoons and Nick Jr., Studio Universal, and many more.
Awesome.
So upgrade or stay connected from 3 October for brand new channels
It's insane.
and even more to love. On GoTV. Love it.
Today, the dairy that's a constituency based on the Copper Belt, and to be precise, that's Mufulira Central constituency. It was created in 1954, and later in 1964 it was split into Mufulira East and Mufulira West. My guest on the program is the Area Member of Parliament, Mr. Gordon Mwila, and I should also make mention that this program is supported by the United Nations Development Program and its cooperating partner. My name is Paul Sentindov, and my sign language interpreter for today is Chola Kauma. Mr. Mwila, good to have you on this platform.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me, and good morning to the viewers, and especially the people of Mufulira Central Constituency.
Later on, I shall open the phone lines where you, our viewers and our listeners, will be able to get in touch with us and ask questions regarding Mufulira constituency. So we'll dissect this very important constituency. It's one of the oldest constituencies created in 1959. And we'll be able to highlight some of the members that have served the people of Mufulira before Mr. Mwila. How would you describe the 1 year plus you've been in office as Mufulira Central Member of Parliament?
Well, I would describe it, as having been a mixture of highs and downs. I should say that as a constituency led by myself and the other civic leaders, the councillors, and all those that are involved in the development agenda of the constituency, we have a focused, agenda of what we want to deliver to the people of Mufulira Central constituency. But however, we don't work in isolation. We are part of the government, so we also have the rest of the government system supporting us in meeting our agenda. So while our way forward is very clear, of course we are affected by some of the processes and the bureaucracies that have to be done in order to access, government support, government resources to achieve that. So it's been up and downs, but by and large, I think that we have been able to share our vision with the people, and they have seen where we are and where we are going. So that gives hope that so far we have done better. We are on course, and we are hopeful that we will deliver on many things that we have promised.
During your campaigns and after the elections, when you emerged victorious, you are known to be Chivokolo, which simply means a crocodile. Where did you get that name from, and what does the name mean to you?
Well, I must say that, that name, I didn't coin it myself. I must mention that I'm a product of Mufulira, I'm a product of Kamchanga, and I've been involved in the development work of in the constituency long before I was even elected as a member of parliament. I've always believed that I must give back to the community, that brought me up. So people saw the work that I was doing in the community even before I assumed the role of a member of parliament, and I was involved in empowerment for the women, empowerment for the youth, engaging activities to keep our youth and especially our mothers busy. So they saw the help that I was I was rendering. They saw how I was contributing to the community, and one day I was also just shocked that one of the people that was involved in working with us long before this position was gotten just called me Chibokolo, and I was like, okay, so what
have you taken some time to find out the connection between the crocodile and the works that you've explained?
Well, in short, they likened me to a crocodile because in a stream you will not see that there's a crocodile there, but there's something that it is planning to do. There's something that is happening, and in the unfortunate event, you would just find that, oh, someone has been, if someone has been caught by the crocodile, but the water looks still, but a lot of work is happening underground. So that's how that name was given to me.
Your constituency is one of the biggest constituencies on the Copper Belt, and comprises of 10 wards. And since 1954, we've had a total number of 12 members of parliament that have served the people of Mufulira. The likes of Lewin Turk, Mr. Peter Wolf, Mr. John Chansa, not forgetting Mr. Joseph Mutale, Mr. David Lunda, Edgar Godfrey, Fabian Kasonde, Kunda Lemba. I'm sure that name reminds you quite a number of issues. Marjorie Masie, the only female that served the people of Mufulira, John Akufuna, and indeed not forgetting your predecessor, Dr. Chibanda. Where do you draw your inspiration, and who really inspired you among these great names of the people that have served the people of Mufulira Central?
Well, yeah, you've quite well elaborated, but just a point of correction, we've actually had two female members of parliament. Marjorie is the most recent one, but we also had Merit Salah, who served in the UNIP government. And yes, so of the names that you have mentioned, I vividly do remember Mr. Edgar Mumba, Edgar Godfrey Mumba. I do remember Merit Salah. I do remember Mr. Kasonde was the first member of parliament to serve in the, when the MMD formed government. And of course, one of the longest serving members of parliament, the late Mr. Kaunda Lemba, may he so rest in peace. He took over from Mr. Kasonde, who had a short stint, in that office. And of course, after him, then we had Major Masie come in, and then Mr. Kufuna, and the immediate past, Mr. Chiband. But I would say that I think my inspiration, I lived just a house in between our home and Mr. Edgar Mumba's home. So that time I was a kid in the 80s, and we would cheer him on. He was on the UNIP ticket, and every time we would see activity around his house, and then I realized, oh, okay, so he's standing as a member of parliament. I was like, okay, so what does this member of parliament, mean? So we as children, we actually helped to campaign for him,
Okay.
Mr. Mumba. So I think I can trace it from that point. But I mean, the greatest inspiration came in 1991 when we saw the emergence of the movement for multi-party democracy, and President Chiluba, Mr. Kasonde, who was then contesting in our constituency. I really got interested in the work of the Member of Parliament.
The number that we'll be using for both live calls and SMSs, I'll be able to share with you. For live calls is 07728322122, and for text messages, the number that we're using is 0978772801. Better still, you can go to our Facebook page, the National Assembly of Zambia. Let us know where you're watching us from, and we're live on the Facebook page there. We did take our cameras and microphones to your constituency, and we found ourselves in an area called Kalukanya. And the people in Kalukanya there did complain the issue to do with water and the road networks is bad. But before you respond, let's head to Mufulira and let's listen to this. All right, we seem to have technical hitch there. We'll get back to that clip where the people of Kalukanya did complain to do with water and the road network not really being in a good shape that they desire it to be. Maybe, what are your plans that you have to make sure that the issue of water, I know it's a big thing, and we do have quite a number of clips of people talking about water issues, but what plans, what long-term plan do you have to make sure that the issue of the road network is brought to the standard that is acceptable?
Okay. Thank you very much. Of course, sadly we didn't hear that clip, but I remember that's my young sister gift. I mean, we've grown up together. The issue of water indeed is a very big problem in Mufulira Central constituency, and not just in my constituency. It's a big problem in the entire district. We are served by Mulonga Water and Sewerage Company, and sometimes it also helps to look at the history. Before these water utility companies were created, water services were supplied by the local authorities. Now, the challenge that we have now with the water is that, one, the population has outgrown the water infrastructure that is in the district and that is in the constituency.
Okay.
Secondly, the infrastructure itself is outdated. The infrastructure breaks down every now and then, because we are talking about infrastructure that was installed soon after independence in the 60s and in the early 70s. And by that time, the population was small, the pipes and everything else was quite new. So we had uninterrupted water supply. But now, a pipe that was installed, let's say in 1969, it's still the same one we are depending on to deliver water up to the household. that's a quite a tall order. So we have this problem of infrastructure, and coupled with the increase in population.
So what's the plan?
Here is the plan now. If you've been, I don't know that time you visited, if you saw, we have quite huge investment in the water infrastructure that is actually going on now. One of the biggest things that is happening is to replace the water pipe that draws water from Kafue River to the water reservoirs. So that work is actually happening now, because that pipe has given us problem. It bursts every now and then, and every time it bursts, a larger population of the district runs out of water. So right now there are works going on to replace that pipe from Kafue River to take it to Chivolia water reservoir. And also there is some other work that is happening at Fairview, located in Kantanshi constituency. There is a big water reservoir that is being installed there. And when these works are done, which are expected to be completed somewhere towards the end of next year, we expect, first of all, smooth flow of water from the drawing point in Kafue River to the water reservoirs. Secondly, the water storage capacity is being increased. This will mean that places, for example, in the constituency like Eastleigh, places like Francis Mkuka, places like Ndeke, will be drawing water from the new reservoir that is being installed, and we expect it to sort out the problem of the water delivery. But the second thing also is that, for example, in Kawama, I don't know if you had any clip to talk about Kawama.
Yeah, we do have quite a number of clips to do with the water challenges that the people of Kawama, Kalukanya, let me just say the entire Mufulira Central.
Kalukanya, by the way, is where my house is, so I also go through what everyone else is going through. We get water out of 24 hours in a day. We get water maybe for 2 hours. But
these are the problems that you knew even when you were making your intentions known to the people of Mufulira. These are the challenges, and you're a resident of Mufulira. I'm sure you had a plan that you needed to sort out the issue that the people of Mufulira, even yourself, are grappling with in terms of water.
Yeah, and the plan is...
So why should it take more than a year for you to start working?
Here is the plan. The plan is to fund Mlonga Water and Sewerage Company. And towards the elections and soon after the elections, you may know, Mulonga Water and Sewerage Company has a credit facility with the European Investment Bank, which funds this water project. And there were problems accessing that money, technical problems and issues to do with internal governance of the company. But all those things have now been ironed out. Hence, today we are talking about these works actually taking place, because 3 months into those works were not happening. But now things are happening. They are on the ground. In Kawama, we have installed the water reservoir, and all we need now is to connect the water reservoir to the pipe that draws water from Kafue River down into Kamchanga Water Reservoir. So that work will soon be commissioned. In fact, it's even behind schedule, because I've engaged the Minister of Water, I've engaged the Mulonga themselves.
What has been the response from the Minister of Water?
So, like the one in Kawama, similar to the one in Kansuswa, they were actually supposed to be launched in March of this year. But there have been delays, because of this water pipe that is being swapped, from Kafue River to the water reservoir. But I expect that very soon, definitely before the end of this year, we should see those new water lines working, those new water reservoirs, Kukan, Suswa, Nakawama.
Okay, Honorable, just hold your thought. Let's get back to the clip that we tried to air earlier on, but unfortunately technology did fail us. But let's give it a try and listen to the people of Mufulira Central in Kalukanya area, to be precise.
Especially ama roads ayangira mumayadi umu taba bwino sana waisikiwa sangati mpani panshira batipali ba nganda nangu imipali bechiro yabai nangu kwali umuliro amanda yapya soti hizi bafayo kupita poti baya kushimya uli umuliro so nacho cyatushupira then na menshi na ya menshi challenge ikulu sana yo twakwata menshi muno mweso so ngachaka fati baitu bikile kwa menshi le nama roads babika fefu yafuire okuba twatotera sana mkwai
kama shinandi nebo Castrol pia chikalaka muno mwine Kalukanya ati definitely mandini misebo musebo shesu shali ba sana shalukungu so chitwatemo ba honorable besu batuhamisha kwa musebo sana sana ishaba kuma plots huko tunashingwana sana na fi dust and then amenshi na it's a challenge bwantini so titwaromba batu foila kwa mayinzi namaweza ko bati amenshi ambo kufika mayanda yesungu.
Well, those are the voices and visuals coming all the way from Kalukanya area in Mufulira constituency, and I'm sure, Honorable, you've responded to all those concerns that were raised by the people of Kalukanya. Now, the other issue that...
I can just talk about the roads as well, because I think there was the issue of the roads. And yes, when I was entering into this office, I knew the challenge of the roads. And like I said, the population has increased. But here is the solution. What we have done in using our CDF community projects, one, we have allocated money to support the local authority, Mufulira Municipal Council, to buy road maintenance equipment. In Mufulira, we have 3 constituencies, Mufulira, Kantanshi, and Kankoyo. All of us 3 MPs came together and agreed to contribute money. And the procurement of that equipment is actually underway. So very soon we will see that equipment landing in Mufulira, and it will greatly help with the maintenance of the roads. Secondly, as a constituency, this year's CDF allocation, we have also provided 5 million kwacha to go into the road network. So all our 10 wards are going to receive an equivalent amount of 500,000 kwacha this year to work on selected roads. That 500,000, based on the workings that we did in our Council of Engineering, it translates to about 4.2 kilometers of roads in each constituency. Because what we are doing, we don't want just to spend in one ward and then go to another. We want all these works to be happening across the constituency. So we are going to see 4.2 kilometers of roads in each constituency. As we are talking, in fact, today, it should be today or tomorrow, prospective contractors are on site doing the site visitation so that they can see the roads and then do the quotations. So the procurement process is underway. Every ward is going to see that work being happening now.
I know you've talked about...
Our plan is this year we have put 5 million, and we expect to put another 5 million also next year. For the next period that we are in office up to 2026, we'll be allocating a big chunk of our community projects from the CDF to work on the roads.
I know you've talked about the roads within your constituency, but one of the most economical road is the Mufulira and Dora road, and the people of Mufulira have been crying for quite some time. Not too long ago, we did see government started working on that road, but that project has stalled for quite some time, and it's an economical road which can bring a lot of benefits to the people of Mufulira. Why has that project stalled, Honorable?
Well, when I assumed office, in fact, it was also one of the campaign issues that I was raising, that I will follow up and ensure that this Mufulira and Dola Road is brought back.
And that's the promise that you made to the people of Mufulira.
Exactly.
They're still waiting, one year down there.
When I assumed office, one of the first things I did was to go to RDA and find out why has the project stalled. And from RDA, I also met with the Minister of Infrastructure. I also posed the question. It was discussed on the floor of the House. Now, the issue is the contractor who was there, Swift, that contract expired with whatever we saw on the ground. Well, literally very little, nothing to talk about. But that contract expired. So as we are talking now, there is no contractor that has been engaged by the government. And so if you see now the budget that the minister announced for 2023, I'm happy to say that in fact of the 5 or so roads that the Minister of Finance highlighted that are going to be priority in terms of finding private partners to work on that road, our Ndola Mufulira Road is one of them. I'm very hopeful. Why? Because government is also pushing to open many frontiers to go into the DRC, and we have the Sakanya border which lies on that road. So that is going to be a very attractive package. Every time I speak with the Minister of Infrastructure, he tells me they are making progress, and soon we should be hearing an announcement with regard to the private partner that is coming on board to partner with the government and work on that road. So it's very active being considered, and I'm very positive that next year we will not end, we'll have that road. Of course, the challenge we have now is it's in a very bad state, and I was appealing to the government, in fact through the vice president, if we can have even small patches just to clear up some of those very, very bad stretches. I mean, unfortunately, the government is looking at how much money they have, but the bigger picture is let's focus our efforts on finding this partner who is going to work with us. I do fully understand, it's a very important road, this one.
I know we do have quite a number of issues that we need to look at surrounding your constituency, but also need to give an opportunity to our viewers to take part and ask you a question and interact with you regarding your constituency. The number that we are using, if you wish to take part on today's MP's Diary, which dates the constituency, which is found on the Copperbelt. This is Mufulira Central constituency. We have somebody on the line. You're live on MP's Diary. Good morning. Your name and where are you calling us from?
Good morning. This is Josephat.
Mr. Josephat, where are you calling us from?
From Kansuswa.
From Kansuswa. Kindly reduce the volume on your gadget.
Hello?
Turn down the volume on your gadget, Mr. Josephat.
Yeah, I wanted to ask the MP.
Go ahead.
I've seen him once on the floor of the house asking questions concerning the road. But we've got a challenge of water here in Kansuswa. I'm told the sewer pipe busted and it mixed itself with the water that we are using. Now, I've never heard our MP saying anything concerning that. And on several occasions, I've seen members of parliament discussing on asking the Minister of Water to help with water thing, but I've never heard, our MP, sorry. So my question is, what is the MP doing concerning these issues surrounding the water? Because I want to believe water is an urgent thing that needs to be attended to as quickly as possible. But I've never heard the MP saying anything concerning water.
Thank you so much, Josephat. The Honourable Member of Parliament for Mufulira Central will be able to respond to you. Let's accommodate two more calls, and the area Member of Parliament, Mr. Mwila, will be able to respond to your concern. Feel free to interact with us on 07728322122. You're live on MP's Diary. Tell us your name and where you're calling us from. All right, we've lost that call there, but feel free to dial 07728322122. We have somebody on the line. You're live on the Diary. Your name and where calling us from? Hello, good morning. All right, we've dropped that call. Before you respond to issue to do with water there, and we do have quite a number of clips because we did touch various places in your constituents, and what really came out was the issue to do with water. We did visit one of the biggest markets in Mufulira Central, and this is Kamuchanga. And our mothers there did complain. Let me not use their words. Let's hear from our mothers at Kamuchanga Market.
Ichakubairapo pano pene pashopu pamwandi uno mokuchalidirika chilechi chisiwa so tuwalilanda alifishana kuliba komiti tapaba nangu chimwe fyachitikapo so nomba pakati apa it was last week bali bachira nanchi kupikapo chili pulanga katushefu inga chitana natwalisha kuti bawami basenda bawo nto muliro kuma nani kani kuma minibus drivers but na react report pakanso bali sabe batingana no kemalungishishe bali nungishisha si umote de chili enough kano fyenda chakuti baisa wamya but twalilanda nali nakana bamulonga bali mbali shiba bashi tapaba nangu chichachitika elo kaili market ya bamwente paba toilet uko ba ku toilet kutali fyoko kutali chipesha amana bwafya bweka nama business bineta pali tulevo watu wafulisha ko mulifini fingi
ero nameshi mu toilet mulyalaya nga yayo kufuma oluchero mpaka kawa idramu nayo yabafye imo ero fwe bantu bwingi pano pa market ero fyena ka empowerment tata twapapa tatuli bana benu ero nifo bana mayo nifo tusunge ekyalo ala tulolesheni komwe bantu tulelila nelili ne tulelila tata wandi twalishiva kutila kasunga wesu niwe echo twakufwayile okwe bati ube pakati kesu ifo bana mayo
kwena kuti natemwa vatu wafwirishako omusango wako ati vatupela kwa amakapito twakwata kwena yali bayachepa pamulandu waicho tatukwata nangukushitisha tatushitisha mpiya yalondoloka tulashitisha nangu pakutifika okumanya teni kwacha omulandu wako wacho tokwete tatulondolweke pala bapakosa sana so titwakabila kwena batuchitako empower pamonga ba MP baku Mufulira constituency.
Ine shina yandi nebo Sandra Chavala shapano paka mchanga market elo njikawa kawa ma extension ko njikala lero mafio threshing na ina muno mbuka mchanga market business ili yabolera sana panuma umlando wakwe batabale bomba nabachepa so ngichili cha wamenge fine tumfiro kwa bati ba government bala baba kutwafirishako kuma empowerment ngatwaya munifa fine pakutira abengi bare kwata ko MP afidia so that time for bare tushitako so inefo ningatemwa sana pali ululu ino tamplo no kushama industry abakwe bati at least ba youth ba ofaira pa kusangwa pakutire nchito abantu nga bare fola at least tureshisha kai ino muno munkopa bills twachitafie depend pali ba ma government workers na ba mpani ngashapo afesha ba mpani na ba government workers business yako sa.
Have it. Those are the mothers and grandmothers from one of the biggest market in Mufulira, and that's Kamuchanga market. Let's accommodate two more calls, and then the area member of parliament will be able to respond to the clip that we aired, and not forgetting the calls that we received, and we had one from Josephat earlier on. You're live on MP's Diary. Your name and tell us where you're calling us from.
This is Mwansa calling you all the way from Kawambwa.
Mr. Mwansa from Kawambwa, your question or contribution regarding Mufulira Central?
Yeah, no, it's just a word of encouragement to our area member of parliament. I've seen this even here. Members of parliament, since we voted them in 2021, they don't have that habit of visiting the wards, because in wards, that's where they can definitely find the challenges the people in their constituencies are facing. When they come to visit their constituencies, they just, I don't know if they just sit on the constituencies offices. Now, how can they identify the challenges which people are facing in their localities? They need to develop this mentality of visiting the typical areas, the typical communities where they are able to talk to the people. They are able to identify the challenges which people are facing. I think that way they can develop their constituencies. Thank you.
I appreciate for your contribution. Let's see if we can accommodate another caller there. Feel free to take part on today's MP's Diary, where we're hosting Mufulira Central Member of Parliament, Mr. Gordon Amuila. You're live on MP's Diary. Your name and tell us where you're calling us from.
Hello.
Tell us your name.
Hello.
Kindly tell us where you're calling us from and your name.
Yes, this is Mr. Banda from Luansha.
Mr. Banda from Luansha. Go ahead with your question or contribution. Just be brief with your contribution. Mr. Banda, reduce the volume on your gadget.
Good morning. Yes, good morning, Honorable Muila.
Good morning, Banda Mavukashan.
Mr. Banda, we'll drop that call. Make sure that when you call us, you turn down the volume on the radio set. That's the only way we'll be able to accommodate as many callers as possible, because there's that delaying effect when you're listening to your gadget and trying to communicate with us here in the studio. Let me also acknowledge the people that are following us on the Facebook page. We do have Kalala Kalasa, and they are saying you're watching us from Vobwi district in Eastern Province, and Joseph Chiswa. You are watching us from Kawambwa, that's Luapula to be precise. Triwell Hamatanga, watching us from the heart of, okay, no name, you haven't told us where you're watching us from. Abel Samuneku, watching from Kawampo. Appreciate. Frida Mwansacheta, watching from Mufulira. I would like to hear from you, Frida. Let's accommodate our caller, then the honorable member will be able to respond to those concerns. You're live on MP's Diary. Your name and where calling us from?
Good morning.
Good morning, sir. Tell us your name.
This is Paul calling from Mufulira.
Mr. Paul, just proceed with your question or contribution and just be brief.
I just want to say thank you to my Honorable Gordon Mwila, the Member of Parliament from Freya Central constituency. Then nende fokulanda kapali inani kane ozo bali landa port water extension. It's a new area whereby ilefa ikamenshi. Bali landa po nomba ndeba ko ba Honorable Gutati. Wajiteko consider so that wakajiteko ati nikalukanya filiao kulia waimba bali kula kwa mifolo it's promising, but here tatulemona promising although bali under 2023 a project to commence. I submit.
Thank you so much, Mr. Paul, the way from Mufulira there. Maybe you can respond, beginning with the clip that we aired, Honorable, to do with water at the market. We heard from our mothers at the market complaining.
Okay. Natotela sana. I think the issues here bachilanda of your supermarket, but yeah, they are very clear issues. Just a week ago, I only came back 2 days ago in Arimu constituency, and I visited that place. I know Palapa Market, Ponce, we have a toilet, and that toilet has been quite odd. The challenge we were having actually was to do with the operational hours here in the toilet, because it's run by the council, and the council, when they put someone to work there, Ngayafika for 17 hours, allocating a toilet, I know kuya. And then, nowadays, commerce is going beyond 17 hours. Abafiashu market, Mudia, Balashtisha up to 19 hours. So that report came to my office, Narikere Pamona ba council, and as we are speaking now, the issue of the toilet has been resolved. I think this clip was gotten maybe, a month or so ago. But as we are talking, now that toilet is going up to 19 hours. And including the water, there are water tanks there which have been put. There is a longer line that is connected. So we do have the water, and it's operating longer hours than it used to be. So but they don't have to.
We did see the tank which the local authority has put up. But the challenge was the erratic water supply. At times, the tank would run for hours without water.
Yeah. So the problem is that when we depend on Mlonga, and the Mlonga water obviously doesn't flow 24 hours. But the intervention that we discussed with the council authorities is also to use the water bowsers from the fire or the council arrangement so that they can fill up those tanks. And that happens. If the Mlonga water is not there, the water bowser takes the water to fill up those tanks. So I think water in the toilets is not a very, very big issue. The main issue was the operating hours, especially after 17 hours, which we have addressed now.
Joseph wanted to find out, are you interacting at ward level?
Yeah, so let me just finish. Empowerment. In fact, I'm even happy to say we have empowerment going into the market. Just from there, like I said, at meetings with the market authorities. So in the next few days, in fact, we are going to empower over about 133 marketeers.